I love it. Loving the pronunciation.
I have no idea what it means.
No, we just
sounds like a name.
We're just going to avoid it.
We're just going to say France.
Frankly. So Ramos and Rise being banned out by CDE. CDE obviously come to this one, I think, as favourites. The French team are it's formerly basically Millennium, is what they're known of. Obviously, we know that they've split across. Some have gone to AAA, some have gone to Millennium. There's a whole different mishmash of teams in there now. Janet, Graves and Lee Sin, the final bans out there. So pretty quick bans as well. An insta-lock-in Sona there. Sona, we've bigged up that much. There's not really much point talking about it. But really, this is a case of who is going to join Poland in the final, because they beat Canada earlier on. If you missed it, well, if you wanted to see it, I've just completely spoiled it for you. But it was a fantastic match. Both matches actually were very good. I managed to get to watch both. You were obviously doing Warcraft 3, so you didn't get to see the first one, but the second game was astounding out on stage. And really, Poland stepping it up. Team Gameberg, or ex-Gameberg as we know them as. We're just waiting for France to lock in. Obviously, nothing astoundingly out there from CDE so far, with the Dyrus picking up Sona. It's obviously not going to be Dyrus playing it. Looking like it's going to be a Karthus from France here. And will that be Soaz playing top with Karthus? I've actually seen that earlier on in the tournament. And Gangplank also looks like it's going to be picked up for the jungler. And that is going to be surely locked in. Yeah, so we could potentially see Soaz on Karthus in the mid there. It's not necessarily the case, but it is something I've already seen him do this tournament. St. Vicious looking like he's going to take Udyr in the jungle. And bearing in mind, Lee Sin has been banned out. And every time I've seen CDE played, they've allowed Lee Sin in there. I've just thought, why are they not banning Lee Sin out? It's like St. Vicious always plays it. Well, he has done it in this tournament, and they've won every single game, bar one against Dignitas in the quarterfinals, which even Dignitas said, you know what, it's because they messed up. Otherwise, we were completely outplayed by CDE. So CDE come really into this one as strong favourites. Of course, France knocking out Korea?
Singapore. Yep, Poland beat Korea.
Yes, it was. First game. Yes, you are correct. It's been a long day. So Corky going to be picked up as the AD carry for Chauster. It will be Chauster playing it down the bottom lane. What will the French team pick up? They're going to go with Caitlyn. So pretty standard stuff from the French team so far. And Alistair. Now that's thrown a whole different look on the occasion. Now, will that be Alistair Jungle? We did see an Alistair Jungle earlier on from Poland in the semi-finals against Canada, and it was actually, Jungle Alistair, so it could be Support Alistair, could be played either way. What will the final picks be for CDE? They're going to have to wake Reginald up and say, you're going to have to pick now, bro.
I think he was awake a little bit earlier on, but yeah, like you say, it's warm up there. It's been a long day. It's perfect conditions to sleep in, actually. And those chairs that they've got on stage, we managed to steal a couple for our little commentator room, which, they're very, very comfortable. So I understand Reginald completely with that one. So here we go then. Final two picks for Chickstick Elo. Probably the best name ever invented, actually. Almost as good as Jérôme Negret.
You just wanted to say it again, didn't you?
I just wanted to say it again. And I'm going to say it a lot more today, so be prepared. Looks like Trundle Gragas, the final two picks here for the Americans. So I guess we're going to be seeing Trundle top lane. That's generally the trend that we've seen, actually, from him recently.
Yeah, it's whether they're going to switch or not with the jungler. Obviously, Reginald's going to be in the mid there. The question is, will it be against Karthus, or will France go with a double AP strat? Let's see what the final choice will be. It could, of course, be Aurelia. That is what Soaz is pretty famous for, as well as who's he been playing a lot of lately? Riven. He's been all over Riven of late. So let's see what the French team will finally pick. Waiting for Kuja to lock in. Obviously, they're going to not be playing with the exact heroes they picked. They will just change over. Interesting. Ooh. Sion. And is that going to be a top lane Sion? Is it going to be a jungle Sion? Is it going to be... It's going to be a jungle Sion from Linak. Yes, so we've seen them playing this... What? Hang on a minute.
It's not going to be a jungle Karthus.
Well, it's not going to be a jungle Karthus, surely. See, we're all just waiting to see if it's going to transfer again here. It's like, Yeah, it's going to be Soaz and Linak. Soaz and Linak need to transfer again, and I bet you they can't. I bet they're going to go, we need to blind pick it.
Yeah, the Korean commentators just said, oh!
Yeah.
When they noticed that.
Yeah, and it's not, because it's going to be Soaz switching surely with Linak, because Linak is the jungler and Soaz is the top. I think they're saying, we can't switch it. I'll be amazed if they do go ahead with it. I've got to be honest with a jungle Linak. Of course, we can see on the CDE side, it is St. Vicious in the jungle on Trundle, and it will be Dyrus on Udyr up the top lane with teleport. No teleport for the French team, and it looks like we're going to start into this one. Oh!
That's quoting what the Korean commentator said, actually. I don't know. The French team don't seem to be too concerned, like asking the admin and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, interesting. Okay.
Maybe I've missed something recently but I've never seen that. If that is going to be the case,
it's entirely possible, but it's far from ideal. But you know what? Carthus coming out of the jungle. You have that great big slow bar, but I'm just not sure. Crashing graphic.
League of Legends! That's what it's going to be. Yeah, we weren't expecting that one to come. So yeah, Linak does have Smite on Carthus. I'm still not sure, though.
It's just a very weird one. Strange one to go, actually, you know, here in a semi-final. It's a very ballsy move. Maybe they've held this one back for a while. I don't believe I've ever seen Millennium running this one. We've cast quite a lot of the games, and good luck, have fun. So, you know what? They're going with it, and they're happy with it. So, let's see how it works out. So, let's give you a roster rundown, just in case you were unsure and hadn't followed League of Legends for the last year or two. It is going to be Dyrus on Udyr, Chowstar on Corki, St. Vicious on Trundle in the jungle. It will be X-Special as the support down the bottom. He'll be supporting Corki and Reginald in the mid for CDE. For France, it's going to be Tidus. I'm guessing Tidus... I mean, it's just totally thrown me, because Tidus is normally the AD carry. Yellowstar obviously will be the AD carry because he has been for France, but Tidus has been an AD carry. They're definitely mixing things up here, and they're going to have a Team 1 fight. I'll get back to the roster rundown in a minute because they've been very close. Yellowstar certainly will give his position away, puts the trap down, and they've immediately backed out of that one, which is why Linak's trying to put those layways down. Does catch X-Special with it, but they'll all back away from that one. Anyway, like I was saying, it is going to be Tidus on Sion, Soaz on Gangplank, Linak on Carthus in the jungle. Yes, you are seeing that correct. Yellowstar down the bottom with support Alistair on Kuja. So I'm just not sure how this one's going to work out.
Obviously a thing, right? And people are already writing forum threads saying that we're idiots right now.
Oh, of course. The theory craft is probably clear there.
Yeah, you know, I've just never seen it, and I certainly wouldn't expect it at this.
It's all well and good doing it in a solo queue or something like that, but to do it in a semi-final of the World Cyber Games is a pretty ballsy move. Of course, Clairvoyance also not been picked up by CDE. It's a very much an American thing of late, going with a heal on Chowstar as well instead of a cleanse. So it's important to note on the AD carry, no cleanse at all on Yellowstar either. As Yellowstar and Kuja try to invade, really not to much avail. And those sounds are not too bad in the ear today. I've just dawned on me that's quite loud, but it's not that bad. So there is Linak taking down the blue on his own. Quite happy with it. Smites it. We'll take it down with that lay waste, and away he goes around the jungle. So we'll keep our eye on that one, hopefully. Of course, we don't have any control of the camera, but you can see he started with armor and 3 pots. It will be Tidus in the mid on Sion. So Sion versus Reginald in the middle there. So pretty much mixed lanes throughout here, and of course you've got Alistair down the bottom. He offers a little bit of sustain, but it's nothing anywhere near as Sona will offer.
We have obviously Corki versus Caitlyn in that bottom. The early CS actually 8-5, so yeah, not really much to write home about there. I mean, we did see those golems going over as well, although I think St. Vicious picked up both of them anyway. In and amongst everything. In the middle, of course, is Sion versus Gragas. Not a lane that we're used to seeing all that much. So Carthus continues his jungle path. And I'm really interested to see whether this is something that I've missed, whether it's something that's happened in the tournament in a game that we've not really seen. Because we do see the headbutt there coming down onto X-Special. and the ward down in that forward bush. Pretty standard stuff from there. Ward from either side in those bushes. Of course, it is Dyrus up at top against Soaz on Gangplank. And there is Linak. Does have the double buff right now, and he's going to move himself over to Golems. If you're interested, he started out with 2 points in his lay waist, and he started off with cloth armor and pots. Just an FYI.
Yeah, it's something we definitely need to keep an eye on, and if you are about to play, whatever you do, don't start a jungle, Karthus, because you'll only upset everybody else in your team. Dyrus at the moment just unsure whether to go back with his trying on bait there. Looking towards the middle, it'd be interesting to keep our eye on this one. It's very even in the CS. Of course, Sion does have that shield that can block those barrels off. So, pretty good counter. Not sure he's going to quite manage to catch him enough with the stun on towards Gragas. Of course, he can just dash away. Keeping an eye on this one down the bottom. Yellowstar versus Chowster, definitely an interesting one between the two highly rated AD carries. And Dyrus, you know, if he can get fed up right on Udyr, he can be such a dangerous thing on the bear man pig, as we like to refer to him. And we're seeing Karthus actually on a little invade here. Obviously there's no wolves, he's just going down, putting that ward down, really helping out the mid Tidus, if anything. And he's just going to take those wraiths away. Once he's been back on board, he's been back and got some boots now to go with that armor he had at the start. CS-wise at the top, you can see Gangblank has been back, so he's going to have fell behind just a touch. But he has been and bought himself a Ruby Crystal and a ward to go with a couple of pots. And looking like Karthus is going to make his way towards that top for the first gank. It's going to be a hard one because it's on Dyrus, who obviously can pop that turtle shield and quite happily use it to resist. And you can see Soaz is trying to bait him out there. And he will come out. The slow bar will get across. A bit of the lay waste down. Flash already used by Dyrus there. Lay waste also going across him. But that has burned up that summoner spell. Gragas was making his way upriver. And Sion just blocking him off. You can see that defensive ward in place there. Down the bottom, I can see the Yellowstar is around about half health, but so is Joustin. So they've obviously had a little back and forth down the bottom. Trundle going for the invade though, and there's nothing to invade, I'm afraid. Wraiths are gone. And looking like Linak is now over on Golems. Yeah, he's took them, and he's going to try and ninja his way back in towards the top bush, Joe. I think they're going to go again. Remember, Flash has been burnt out here.
Yeah, Flash is down, so, you know, not a totally unsuccessful gank. In fact, he could turn into something a little bit stronger here if Linak is able to get into a position.
We do not know pity, even for you.
Taunting, I like it.
Nice.
It's almost like a revenge.
Which comes out really loud as well if you're right on top of him on the stream.
It's almost like a revenge. I do recall Dyrus pretty much doing slash laugh throughout, or shift. I can never remember what key it is, one of the shift keys. Just seeing the full back, the ward was there, and St. Vicious is not going to be able to make a gank here. Yellowstar just sort of looking at him going, yeah, I
He's going to shoot him.
Yeah, I thought about it. Oh, Trundle does make a dive for it. Surely he can just trap backwards. Instead, Alistair is going to try and knock him in towards the tower. Yellowstar just uses that knockback that he has and gets out of that quite easily there. And well covered off by Alistair, of course. We can see Linak actually quite happily going around that jungle path. Sona just going upriver, so ward placed. And really, it's very even at the moment. 7 minutes gone, gold bang on even. And, well, that obviously generally tells you that the CS is pretty much nailed on. And it is between the two. Sion actually slightly ahead of Reginald in the mid there.
Yeah, he is. And I'm impressed so far with what we've seen from that Sion in the middle, of course, from Tidus. We do see a bit of damage coming out from Soaz onto Dyrus, and he's going to continue to harass here. Actually, there we see the exhaust. There goes the slow bar ultimate from Gangplank as well, and that is going to be first blood for France. It goes to Linak, which, you know, he's a jungler at the moment, but if he manages to get those ganks coming on, Karthus, you know, he's so damaging later on into things. And like you said, in theory, it's a great move to have in there in the jungle. And he's already level 6, so he gets into his hello, I'm Karthus. You thought you were survived, but actually you're all dead.
Yeah. So, it's going to be very dangerous. They're moving in actually for Dragon there. Teleport though on towards that. It will be Dyrus coming in. They're just going to back away from that one. Yellowstar surely caught out just below. If they'll move the camera down there, I can see Corky all over him. Down the bottom, if they just actually pan the damn camera down towards him, you'd see them are fighting. Yellow Star on absolutely no health at all, which means they're going to have to back away from this one. And Tidus, oh, he's been caught beautifully by Reginald there. That's going to be Tidus going down. Really good ulti flash there from Reginald. And Yellow Star was pretty much helpless to do anything about that one. You can see he's had that health pot running. Of course, the camera didn't quite manage to move on to it. We do mention that we have no control over this, but that dragon is definitely going to put CDE in the lead. Only just, though. And even on kills again. And this time, Soaz has moved in towards the middle. Whether he's going to stay there or not is another matter. Obviously, Tidus did just get taken down. I expect him to shuffle round towards top in just a moment.
In the bottom lane, in terms of CS, 55 plays 72. That's already a good lead building up. Of course, we did see that Yellow Star did go very low. He didn't actually go out of lane, but he used his Ghost Demon to get out of that last situation with Corki, which we didn't see. It's always a pleasure to commentate from the minimap. It's something that we're getting used to here as we go along the World Cyber Games. Like, as Demon mentioned, we don't have control of the camera whatsoever. We are going to see blue buff going over for Gragas, so be able to spam. Wow, that's a big crit actually from Corki down the bottom, which once again we switched away from. There goes the ulti onto Kuja, surely dead. No, he's used his flash. Chaucer will use his flash as well. Kuja goes down, and there goes CDE picking up the lead in terms of the kills. Of course, they were a little bit ahead in terms of the gold anyway, due to that last dragon kill. But they are now further in the lead. We're about to hit the 10-minute point, but still a close game, which France, they'll be feeling fairly confident in this one. Ultimate coming out there, especially actually having to flash away. The bar came over. There goes the ultimate out from Carthus. Not going to get the kill onto it, especially. Got the heal off just in time. And in fact, did we see? Yeah, we saw the summoner heal being used there by Chaucer in that one to save his teammate. And that's why heal has become so much better. I'd say good job to Riot for those reworks actually on that.
Yeah, of course, that mouse free rework. Just again, Linak having a poke. Of course, use that lay-wise will uncover the bushes that he's looking towards. So Soaz at the top against Udyr, which is Dyrus with that Wriggles. Gangplank. That wasn't me, by the way. That was.
I actually thought it was you.
That was Reginald.
This sounds like when you're right over the top of the champion, they come through pretty loud and clear.
Oh, dear me. So, yeah, Reginald at the moment has got triple Doran's ring there. We can see a pink ward actually coming out from Sona there, so he's going to place that over at Dragon shortly, obviously try and clear out those wards. We've seen it a lot. Certainly Team Poland were using them heavily. In fact, I do recall seeing 5 at once being picked up by every member of the team as well, not just the supports. And we have St. Vicious and Reginald making their way down south here. No wards, really, that would have spotted them. They have backed off, though, so Tidus would have seen them on his screen. And, yeah, immediately they back well away from that one until Reginald comes back into view. But they have a 3-man push down the bottom there, and we are getting some laughs from Dyrus. I think it's going to be one of those games, I think. We're going to go back and forward. We can see Carthus ninjaing his way towards those bushes. Whether he's going to get spotted or not, Turtle Shield's going to get try and pulled there. The Slowbar does go across. Dyrus actually going straight through it, popping out. Turtle Shield will get slowed by Soaz there. Going to go straight into the Lightweights. Ham to use that flash. Soaz flashing as well. He's going to take a bit of damage from that turret. Will get away. Will he get away from the tower? That's the question. He's going to be very low as well. And, well, does he have his ulti? Linak does not have his ulti up, so he can't use Requiem. So he will not pick up a kill. And Soaz, instead, out of frustration, uses his ulti and then just ports back because, the cooldown will be back pretty much by the time he's done. In fact, he's just realised he's not going to kill the minions. He's going to have to finish them off himself. Meanwhile, in the mid, Reginald up to 95 CS, 105 CS for Tidus. We do have Trundle just laying ready and waiting. It is Gragas making the belching noise, not Trundle, isn't it? They all do make some funky noises, but it is definitely Reginald. Taking a drink, obviously gets a mana regen from that. And Tidus is just building up that AP. You can see it's going to be really quite hard to pin him down, I think. Obviously, with that shield, it's going to be very hard to stun him. Linak really, he's been successful the once from the jungle, but it's not been an outstanding success just yet. But I think that's mainly down to Dyrus' escapabilities more than anything.
And you see there, Chaucer is firing off a few of those bombs in towards Yellow Star. Dyrus doing well up at top. So we're going to see CS 89 to 94. So very, very even in that top lane. However, Obviously, Dyrus did have one death in and amongst all that, with the Gangplank having an assist, and that shows as well over with the items. We do see the Giant's Belt already, although Wriggle's Lantern is finished on Dyrus as well. Here we go, Pillar going to come in, they're going to ulti Tidus back into the range of that lane, but Tidus working his way off already. Got the speed to get away from that. As we see the blasting one now on Gragas. So those barrels really starting to hurt. Obviously his ultimate really good for for pulling them towards you, basically taking that position. And look at the stun damage even there onto St. Vicious. It's good damage from AP Sion.
Yeah, he's going to want to get a few more ganks though, because he's not had really any help from Linak there. Linak's been pretty much focusing on the top here, as well he should do. Tries to come in, that was unsuccessful though. He's just going to walk away from this one with Turtle Shield on, and they know it. Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to pull anything from that. Alistair just poking off Reginald there, saying, not today, thanks. And you know what? Alistair can't do a fat lot about that. Bottom turret being harassed. He's lost his AD carry. He's just gone back and bought a BF sword. We can see the beginnings of a Trinity Force on Corki, and that will be the bottom turret going down as Dyrus makes his way in there.
He can hear that through his headphones, I'm sure. He can hear the rumble of it, and he likes it. Makes him feel good. Here we go. Kuja taking some damage from Reginald. Look at that. Down to half HP. Really great stuff from Gragas. And here we go. We are going to see the Baron Dragon attempt again from CDE. EDG is the Korean team, of course. And we do see Dragon go down. Kuja actually making the engagement there. There goes the ulti across. And look at this. France being absolutely exploded at the moment. Linak is the next one to die, which is not the worst thing in the world. He's supposed to die, I guess. But it's Kuja that's now surely going to follow in and amongst all this one. Although Chaucer now very, very low. Gragas is still in and amongst all that. How did they not kill? Wow, I can't believe that they've not killed. Okay, so Gragas did finish that one off in the end onto Kuja. So Vicious is going to go down there to that parlay. And you see Reginald is chasing Yellow Star down. Doesn't quite have the cooldowns ready to go ahead and finish it off. But they are now going to push in and try and pick off Soaz.
They're certainly not going to have enough of that.
Wow,
and really, after such a fail initiate from Kuja, he went for the headbutt pulverize, and it missed. And whether that, I mean, you can't even put that down to lag because they're on 15 ping servers. He just missed the combo, and as soon as that missed, he should have just gone, right, okay, we're going to have to back away from this one. The combo's not worked. We've not got the stun down, and immediately they all followed straight into position, and then they got a crescendo straight across them, which is just perfect for Reginald. Just roll the barrel straight there. They're all covered up, and managing to catch them out very nicely. But actually, all credit to France, they came out a lot better than I thought there was. I was expecting a full-on ace there from CD because they just completely caught them out of position, and obviously picking up the Dragon as well in there. It's give them a fairly decent leading goal. There's nothing unsustainable yet though. So it's 3k. Reginald's going to be given the blue here. I swear to God the game sounds have just gone louder. It's just me, I don't know. They just suddenly blasted my eardrums out. Maybe it's something on our end and hopefully not your end. Tidus is coming down river. There's a lot of pinks going on him. Special ready and waiting. They're going to try and get the power cord on him. Take that shield down. He will get caught out by the Reginald ulti there. Flashes through. Soaz is there just distracting him if anything, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The pillar of Phil straight in his face. Tidus will go down. Special though picking up the kill. That is not what you want. But at the end of the day, it's not too bad. It's still a kill. A kill's a kill. And the assist gold will have gone across them. It's only a 70% split across with that assist on, I think across all three of them where they actually managed to do damage on them. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, we've had Yellowstar and Chowster pretty much AFK farming. You can see Chowster diving in on towards Yellowstar there. Net shots away quite happily. 146 CS for Chowster, 129 for Yellowstar. Yellowstar has had that BF sword for quite a while. Trinity Force now completed on Corki though. So CDE for me are looking very strong in this one. 6-3 up in kills, 1 tower up. And really, they are looking by far the strongest.
Yeah, for me as well. Their initiations have been so much better. And France were definitely one of the big favourites coming into this one. Yes, the team has split up. However, they've had so much time together. We can see on Gragas that he does have the needlessly large rod. Shut up, Dyrus. You're putting me off my commentary, man. But also over with Sion as well. He also is pretty much up ready for that Rabadon's death cap at the next pickup. I did see Linak just moving in there. Is double buff right now. We've got Gragas in the bushes, ready and waiting.
You just can't help but laugh. I knew Dyrus would be doing this as soon as he got baited early on. He's going to take that turret down without any problems. He was trying his best to bait Soaz to attack in there. Reginald sat ready and waiting, and wisely Soaz backs away. I'm not convinced about this team build, you know, whether it's worked or not. I'm not sure if the right people are getting fed as they should do. Karthus, for me, always needs feeding there. And there is Linak continuing in that jungle. Rabadon's death cam nearly completed by Tidus in the middle there, but then again so is Reginald. Reginald 104, Tidus 13030. It's just not working out. Reginald is going to come around the side, and there's Reginald with an explosive beginning and absolutely destroying them there. And so as surely will follow. Reginald trying his best to stay alive. He will get taken down by the dot from Gragas there, I believe, just at the end there. But unfortunately, that will be a double kill again for CDE, and Dyrus is just continuing on this top lane, and they need to deal with him because he's just going to get stronger and stronger as the game progresses, Joe.
Yeah, and X Special actually pushing up there with him as well. They're going to try and do as much damage to this turret as they can before anyone comes there and tries to stop them. You know, Udyr is a fantastic turret pusher as well. That's obvious to be said. You know, and he just doesn't look... Stop laughing at me, I'm tired. It's been a long day, and I've commentated 3 different kinds of games in one day. It's just not good for my brain. To be fair, you casted a pool game earlier, so...
Karom 3D,
I made some Pop Black references in this game.
Yeah, it's been a long day here at the World Cyber Games. This is the last game of the day, and unfortunately for us, we would love to just be bringing you League of Legends throughout this event, but it hasn't been a dedicated stream. We have had to be pulled from pillar to post, but luckily you guys have been able to watch the quarterfinals and the group stages, or at least some of them, with thanks to Riot Games and a few players as well. Can't let them off. There's been a few players that have been running the camera, so you have been able to watch them. I know they've been restreamed by a couple of commentators out there as well, which is always great to have, because, you know, we would have loved to have done it, but unfortunately we were otherwise occupied casting the delights of Karom 3D and Crossfire.
So anyway, there you go, France down towards Dragon, and actually this is a good engagement for them to take. There are 4 men there. Udyr is up top, and obviously Udyr going to use his chance. Wow, the damage from Chaucer already so high there. Yellow Star is going to go fairly low. The ultimate put down by Gangplank to try and stop it, but they are going to move into this one. Senvish is going very low. Linak will follow in there. Surely that's a dead Linak. Yes, snipe shot coming on to Senvicious, who will casually waltz away from that. There's the ulti across from X Special. Kuja goes down. Yellow Star is surely going as well. Yep, finish off by Chaucer. Exhaust onto Tidus as well. Soaz will stay healthy on the turret, but still 4 kills for none. That's a ridiculously good fight again for CDE. They took the Dragon in amongst all that, did France, but, well, who cares? We are going to see a Baron here.
Yeah, and France actually chose to take that fight. They backed away, they had the vision, and they said, right, okay, we're in position. The slow bar went out, and unfortunately for France, they just didn't pull it off, and that's going to be really pretty much a free Baron. I don't think there's anything that Soaz can do about it. He's going to come around here, doesn't have his ulti unless he manages to really ninja his way in. Requiem does come out, tries to take them all a little bit lower, but instead that's just going to be give Soaz another kill. Meanwhile, Dyrus just happily solos on the Baron, and the rest of the team come around, just heal him up and say thanks a lot, we'll take the Baron and a kill, and that
22
is
minutes.
Just absolute domination from CDE. I kind of expected them to be favourites for this one, and Poland are going to be watching this knowing what they've got to do. CLG, to me, just didn't perform that well in the semi-finals, but for me, at the moment, CDE have been one of the strongest teams here. Like I said, they didn't drop a game in the group, including Dignitas in there, CLG in there, and obviously the only team they have dropped the group game to is Dignitas, and even in Dignitas' mind, that was purely down to one single mistake.
Yeah, they've come out so strong. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a little bit of talk about the lineup from France, the selection they've gone with here. I mean, double AP, yeah, it's all well and good, but usually it's set up differently. You know, you'll have that top middle lane rather than the man in the jungle. And that's the thing about Karthus, he needs that early power in my opinion. He needs to get good early on. That's a great ulti once again. Kuja will knock everyone up in the air, but he's surely down. The Pillar of Filth was there stopping him. Turret will fall as well, and this Baron is going to be put to very good use now from CDE. You can see Reginald taking that obvious spot which you kind of throw there with every Gragas. Ulti comes down actually from Gangplank, and that will force CDE a little bit away, but possibly only until this next minion wave comes along.
Yeah, Reginald's nailed that ulti every time so far, knocking people in towards him. And it can be a really quite hard ulti to try and judge, really. If people back it the wrong way, it'll just blow them all backwards. But he has managed to catch him. Linux also being caught out. Shouster just absolutely stripping the health off Linak there, and he went down without problems. And they're even standing around in the middle of it. Just like, you know what, we're not bothered about you putting layways on us, we'll just heal it up. We have a group heal, we have a support as well, and that is going to be a very easy inhibitor, and possibly the game. They could easily go through. Oh, they've just spotted Yellowstar actually down in the bottom lane. The ping went down. They're going to try and go straight round behind Yellowstar. Yellowstar already making a run for it. They're going to pursue. Reginald's going to surely be able to catch him up here with his dash that he gets. Instead, no, they're not going to get baited away from it. They're just going to go straight for the turret. Like, you know what, Yellowstar, if you're going to be down there, fine, we'll take a turret. Oh, just as I big up Reginald's ulti there, he just blows back.
I think that was the point, to keep him away anyway.
Keep him well out of the way. And Yellowstar has had to teleport back, but that's 2 turrets already with this Baron buff. A kill as well, 15-4 up, nearly 13k ahead in gold. It is a massively one-sided game now.
Corky's 7-1-4, 200 CS already. Trinity Force, Bloodthirster. Wow. Obviously, we're seeing the best Sona ever, 2-0-11 as well. Good stuff. 18 CS as well, that's to be added. That's a good farm for Sona in the game. Also, we have Gragas 3-1-10, 144 CS, triple Doran's Ring, blasting 1, Rabadons plus those Sorcerer Shoes. And this, I don't know, it should be over pretty shortly. I mean, Udyr now has magic resist with that Negatron cloak. He's also got the Trinity Force built up. And France aren't coming back from this one. I hate to be the bearer of bad news who says this comeback isn't possible, but I don't think it's possible.
No, I mean, we've seen some big comebacks, but it's just nothing has shown likely to make it. I know we like to try and keep these things entertaining. There is another match. Remember, it is a best of 3, so it is not over and out for France just yet, but this has not been the best start they could have wished for. A very, very one-sided match. And of course, I did speak to Linak in the restaurant earlier on, and he was like, no, we're not going to win this. Not feeling confident. Linak does get taken down completely there. Kuja trying his best to take down Darius. Darius does go down, so that is a kill. That's something to take away from this one. Can they catch on towards the same vicious? No, they can't, because Soaz was completely baited into it. Chouster just off the side behind the hedge there, absolutely ripping them apart. Will get taken down Alistair as well, straight on towards Tidus as well. Tidus is still going to follow down. He will do, and could we get the ace here? We'll go into Yellowstar, flash in there, and you are a dead man. That's the ace, follow in towards the Super Minions, and GG will be for CDE. Very, very well played by CDE in this first game. You know, it was looking pretty tight to start with in the lane phase, but really it was only ever going one way once we hit the team phase.
Yeah, the team fights were ridiculously one-sided. You didn't really see any kind of chance for France. And even there in that top lane on that last real fight, I think France actually thought they were possibly going to win that team fight. We saw them chase away, and actually most of CDE was still on full HP hiding behind. We saw that Crochet